Hey, welcome back to Minecraft, where in the last video we built up this whole wall here and upgraded most of our tools to netherite. I just did the sword off camera, and even though I ran through all of those beds that I made, I didn't get enough to do my armor. But the tools is enough for the time being, because really the only thing you get out of netherite is knockback resistance, which I can do without. I'll do that when I'm bored. But anyway, the plan for this video is to hopefully finish both remaining districts, because they're both relatively small. This residential district here isn't going to house much at all. I'm thinking it might just be fishing huts. Yeah, because if I was to build big houses like this again, I'd only fit like 2. So, if I do fishing huts, it makes a little bit more sense. Or maybe just small houses instead of the huts. Anyway, and then this district here is the services district, or the second market district. And this is where I need to do a bit of brainstorming as to what goes in. So, whoa, I've gone and gathered a little bit more resources. I've got a bunch of stone bricks. I've got some things for a fancy floor. Lanterns, glass, doors, yeah, everything. And, oh right, I've already got them on my inventory. I thought they were in here. I need to figure out exactly what buildings are going in to these areas. So, ahead of time, I already thought of a church, which is why I've got some of those more exotic blocks. As far as medieval services go, there's definitely a blacksmith. Caps lock, thank you. I might have a cartographer. Yes, I can spell cartographer. I'm basically just going to take all the remaining villager roles and put them in. So, yeah, I'll have... Wait a minute. Will the blacksmith have the toolsmith and the armorsmith in it? Because the armorsmith takes the smithing table, and the toolsmith... No, other way around. Toolsmith takes the smithing table, the armorsmith has a blast furnace, so it's not a blacksmith. It's a toolsmith and armorsmith. I can make them a little different from each other. So that's four buildings. I'll try having a leather worker. A Fletcher would make sense in here, but I prefer it being in the other market district. The librarians are going to be in the big tower connected to the keep. I think that might be it. Oh no, there's a stonemason. I might be able to have like a quarry sort of thing. Or maybe just like big stone storages. Okay, now I think I've got them all. So, this relates to... Well, I've written the job other than on the church, which is the cleric. Yeah. And then over there is where the librarians will be. So, I didn't need this last sign. How am I going to build most of these? I think the smiths and the mason are going to be in more stone buildings, but the cartographer and the leatherworker are going to be in wooden ones. The church is stone bricks. Maybe I should have gotten cobblestone. Yeah, do I have any cobblestone left? I think I might have smelted it all. I've got stone, but I don't have any cobblestone. Oh, actually, is there any deep slate? Oh, blackstone. I could use blackstone. Yeah, I think I'll use some blackstone in there. Right. I think the 2 biggest buildings I'll have are the church and the cartographer. So I might put those up the back. The toolsmith and the armorsmith can be more or less the same building, actually, just different sections. The leatherworker, I'll just throw him in to fill space, and the stonemason needs a small quarry of sorts, or just a stone holding area. So I need to grab fences too. And I'll grab a bunch of decorative stones as well. I think I'll start off with stonemason then. Oh, actually, no, looking at the terrain here, might have to do a bit of terraforming before I get going. Right, so I think I'll put the stonemason maybe up the back. Maybe around here-ish. This needs to be filled in, because I don't know what I'm going to be doing with that. So I just need to have a little stone pile up the back here. And then place some piles of stones in here. Any sort will do. Yeah, I kind of like this. Just a pile of stones in the corner. Okay, so now I've just gone ahead and built the mason house. And I like it. I'm not so sure it screams stonemason, despite the fact that there is this big pile of stones next to the house. And the inside is lacking. I'll fill that in later. But I quite like this. I think this is good for the stonemason. I want all of the houses to sort of fit in with all of the residential district houses, but still have something to stand out. Like, for example, this one's got the... Is it curved or is it a diagonal siding? Corner, whatever. Yeah. And they'll all have some sort of additional thing to make them what they are. Except for the church. The church is going to be distinctly different. Okay, so that's the mason. Now I'm going to make the blacksmith. And that's where the blackstone comes in. And I think I'll have two of them. One for the blacksmith, one for... Wait, no. They're part of the same building. Yeah. We'll see. And also this area is much bigger than I thought it would be. I think I'll put the blacksmiths here. Actually, no. Maybe not. I think the blacksmith will go here. But face this way. I'm not sure I explained it right, but I'll just build it and we'll see. I also still have a bit of terraforming to do. Okay, that's the blacksmith's done now too. I accidentally made it a bit shorter than the other buildings. The others you can see they're 3 blocks and then a row of logs. But this one is just 3 blocks and then straight to the ceiling. Which, on the inside, it looks fine. It's nice and cozy in here. But on the outside, with all the roof detailings, it kind of muddies it a little bit. But I think it's fine. I like that it is different in that sense. And I don't know. Maybe it'll fit a bit better. But I'll leave it for the time being. I think next up, I should do the big old church building. I need to clear out my inventory first. Maybe I should have a different door for the church instead of spruce. Maybe if I got dark oak in there. Yeah. Oh, hang on. I never did windows in the blacksmith. Right, there we go. Now there's windows on the blacksmith. And now I can get to the church. I think I'll put the church right here, up the very back. Although this big pillar here kind of gets in the way. I think I can work with it though. I don't have all that much calcite to build the floor. I'll see what I can manage. Okay, so I've made the church now. I've got these big stained glass windows in here. I'm not sure how I feel about it. On the inside, it looks great. And I quite like this whole look to it. But on the outside, it just looks a bit weird. And I don't know why. Maybe because it's too angular. Maybe if I just shaved off the corners, that would help. I don't know. But it just doesn't feel right. I'm gonna shave off the corners. Okay, that's better. But it still feels weird. I don't know. At this point, I'm just messing with it too much. I think I'll just leave it be. But other than the fact that it feels a little weird, I quite like how this has turned out. Especially with these chiseled stone bricks in here, to just kind of change it up a little bit. I haven't put much lighting on the inside, but I'm thinking of having something big hanging from the ceiling, and I'll do that later. But I can say that this is definitively a church. Like, if you were to see this around, you would definitely call that a church. Just needs like a big cross on the top. I can do that later. Okay, so if I look back at the list here, I've got the church, I've got the toolsmith, I've got the armorsmith, and I've got the stonemason. So it's just the cartographer and the leather worker left. Right. I think the cartographer will go right the way up the back here. But then what do I do about the leather worker? I could just plonk him on the top of this hill here. And just leave it at that. Yeah. I might just do that. Now another big thing about the cartographer is that it's gonna be pretty tall. I'm not sure how yet, but it will be tall. Oh, I could just have like a second floor. Yeah, that's not too hard to do. I'm also going to need a bunch more dark oak. I will go grab some. So, I'm building it up the back here. I think I'll flatten this all out. Right, so that's the cartographer's place done. I'm not too sure how I feel about it. It's fine. I like it as a building and as a house. It doesn't really scream cartographer to me, but I don't think it really has to. It's fine. I think I'll leave it as it is, partly because I like the way it looks anyway, but also because I'm not bothered to tear it down and rebuild it. So, yeah, I'm going to leave this as is. Now, the last thing that I have to do is the leather worker. But before I do him, I think I'm just going to get some pathways going around here, just to kind of see where I can fit him in, more than anything else. Because he's definitely going to be centered a little bit, but I'm not sure how much. Right. Now I've got paths going around, and I think I might put the leather worker, yeah, about here. Yeah, on the hill a little bit. Maybe hanging off the hill a little bit too. Oh, I had exactly enough logs to make it. Oh, yes. That feels good. And there we go. Now I've finished... Oh, where did these guys come from? There's a whole scout troop of them. Okay, I gotta take care of these guys. There we go. Now they're all gone. Ooh, I got a crossbow. And bad omen. But as I was saying before I was interrupted, this is the leather worker done. I I wanted to do something other than just a square house for this, which is why I did this L shape. And then I like the idea of having an overhang bit here, and this is where he can do all the leatherworkery stuff with the cauldron. Because if I go inside, it's a little bit cramped. And also, I haven't put a roof in really, so yeah. Most of the houses look like this on the inside because you're not really supposed to go inside them. But that's basically the last thing to go in this whole area. I was thinking of having like a recreational bit, like a big public campfire sort of thing, but I decided against it because it just doesn't really fit. But that's the whole service district. It's a little bit barren, but I think it's filled enough. We've got the stonemason, the blacksmith, the leatherworker, the cartographer, and the church. And if I go back over here, that's everything. There's a bunch of other small details that I think I'll just do later on, because honestly, I'm getting pretty sick of working on this. I've been going for far too long in this area, but I'm satisfied with the final product. Satisfied enough that I'm going to remove the initial boundary line I had for it. And now it looks considerably cleaner. This place is looking pretty good now. The whole castle. The only thing left is this corner here. This tiny extra residential district. And I'm not entirely sure what to put in here. I also think now's the time that I deal with this ravine here. There we go, that's the ravine covered up. And now I've got this big pit here. I think I'll just fill this one in too. At least most of the way full. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. There's a couple other terraforming things around here that I might just remove. But I'm not really feeling up to filling this bit in now. It might just be something I do off camera because it's tiny. And it's not going to be filled with much. It's probably going to be the same as the other residential buildings. You know what? Yeah. I'm just going to build the things in here off camera because it's not really worth my time to do it now. But that would mean then, once I've built that up, there's only two things left to build in this entire castle. Being, you know, the big wizard tower over here, with all the librarians in it, and the big roads going through the whole place. Yeah. And that might be what I do next video. I'll build the big wizard tower, and then I'll do all the roads afterwards. And then I'll be done. I'll have finished this whole castle. Wow. I never thought I'd get to this point, really. And it's almost surreal that this big castle that I've been working on for a couple weeks now and many, many hours is almost finished. But almost finished in quotation marks because it's just the visual side. I mean, there are quite a lot of small details that I need to do, like making the keep look a little better than just a massive box. I think the walls are fine though. And the big thing, I need to start filling this up with practical things like all the villages in the market stalls, or the services district, or all the various farms that lead into the black market, or all the farms that create what I sell with the villages. There's still so much more for me to do, but in terms of the big large constructions, I'm almost done. So, I think I'll end this video here. I feel like I've done a lot. This might be a short video. Who knows? But I haven't really had all that much time to record anyway. So, yeah, I'll leave it here. Bye.